days of the internet, my podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. With their witty banter and infectious glee, they've captured hearts, you see. They're more than just smokers, they're a family, united by cigars, a brotherhood free. Invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. They've got the knowledge, the passion, the flair, a podcast powerhouse beyond compare. So light up a stogie and join the affair. The Cigar Loons are always there. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail.
What's up?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Cigar Loons podcast.
What?
Who made you boss, Grump? Who made you boss? Who made you boss?
Get on with it.
Well, like Grumpy just said, hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome, of course, to the Cigar Loons podcast. Of course, it's Tuesday night, and that means one thing: we're live, we're active, and of course, let's get locked into tonight's show. And of course, we've got a fantastic episode lined up for you because joining us in the lounge tonight, we've of course got Hyman, founder and owner of Grouchy Monkey Cigar Company. So it's an absolute pleasure, Hyman, to welcome you, of course, to the show. And we hope you're having a great day today. And thank you for joining us tonight. And of course, a lot of comments coming in so far. And I, too, of course, the Ash Report, he says hello there. And we've had comments, of course, from SD Turner. And I think a lot of your ambassadors, Simon, are watching, of course. So they've been commenting. But yeah, so welcome, like I say. So, Grumpy, Matthew, before we get into it and I start asking, of course, Hyman the questions and pass it around, what cigar are you smoking tonight, my brothers? Which of the crazy monkey cigars are you smoking? Because after all, we're a bit like monkeys. We are. What out of them? What out of the cigars are you smoking?
Well,
let's see.
Go ahead, Matthew.
Go ahead. All right. I am smoking the Jungle Land Habano from Grouchy Monkey, not Crazy Monkey.
I know, Grouchy Monkey.
There you go. That's the band.
I said we're Crazy Monkey.
I did light it up already. I took the cold draw. I was getting some graham cracker on the cold draw, which is always nice. And now I'm lit, and I'm getting a little bit of pepper so far, and not a whole lot else at the moment, but give it time. I've got like half a puff in.
Yeah, we do.
Well-
We do apologise, Hyman, for Matthew kicking straight into it. He is one of the craziest out of the bunch that likes to go
Don't
straight
apologize for me, bitch.
into it. Hey, Matthew.
Well, that didn't take
Well,
long.
Grumpo.
Family rating out the
course.
window.
He can't be trusted. Told you, he's a crazy monkey.
Can't
Hold on,
leave
bro.
you two alone for 5
You
minutes.
got my brother.
Mhm. So I see someone's got a shipwreck there.
Yes, I have the shipwrecked monkey. I was going to leave that footband on there until after I showed it off, but knowing me, I'll forget about it. But
Hmm.
very, very, very nice looking barber pole. I can't wait to get into it because I can already, and as weird as it is, and I don't care, but I have cut it, and this thing tastes like walnuts. The cold.
Ooh.
Yeah, it does, man. I mean, it has a nice thick, because walnuts is a nice meaty nut anyway. But this thing, the cold draw, has that nice thick kind of meaty, and it has that walnut flavor to me. I don't know. I may be crazy, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Bryson Fowler
I-
from Kingpin.
I'll own
said
it.
Bryson Fowler from Kingpin Luxury said it tastes like a root beer float. Once you get to smoke
Okay.
it, we'll see what you think.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we know Kempin.
Yeah.
So big shout out to, of course, Kempin, because we're friends with Kempin. We are. But of course, Hyman, what are you smoking tonight out of your cigar line? What are you smoking tonight?
So what
cigars
I'm
you picked
doing
up?
is a factory hybrid of the Jungle Land Connecticut version, and what the little bit of a difference is, it's in a little bit of a different vitola. So when we make blends, we try out different vitolas. So we wind up with quite a few cigars, because I don't think you can tell a cigar by one try on it. So you want 4, 5, 6, 7 different tries at a stick to determine if it's something you like. And every stick will smoke differently in a different vitola. So this one's a little bit less ring gauge, and it's basically just like a Toro, but it is round, a parejo. So
Welcome, folks.
Okay.
Welcome, fellas.
but I'm a fan of our Connecticut, so I
So,
didn't
of
feel like
course.
getting dizzy tonight. So
Yeah.
the shipwreck can knock me out sometimes, to be honest with you.
So let's
Oh well. All right. Nice heads up. I like
Uh-huh.
get
that.
into it. And let's get into it. And of course, for anyone that, of course, is watching tonight and doesn't know about,
Peaceful
of course,
feeling,
Grouchy Monkey Cigar Company, how is it, Hyman, the story came around, and how did the whole idea of Grouchy Monkey Cigar Company come around? Because you know something, when I very first heard about you and I saw the monkey, I'm like, that's an interesting cigar company, Grouchy Monkey. And then seeing the monkey with the fedora on, smoking the cigar, I'm like, there's got to be a story behind that and off. I want to know. So, for anyone who hasn't heard, Tom, of course, tell us the story of how it all came around, my bro.
Oh, my pleasure. Well, as it turns out, it all begins with my father smoking cigars growing up, and that taste of, I grew up in the Miami Beach area, and my father used to go to Little Havana area before the factories were, how should I say, fancy down there. And he used to get cigars rolled for him, and that smell has always stayed with me. And never was a cigarette smoker, and started smoking early and just enjoyed cigars right from the start. But by trade, I'm a pilot on private jets, so I wind up traveling around all over places. And I was like, what am I going to do when I eventually retire? And the whole thing really began with thinking about wanting to own a lounge, and wherever I go on trips, I travel and I visit the owners of lounges and, and sit with patrons and just, who wants to sit at a hotel all day? It's great to go out and find a good cigar lounge. You'd be very surprised what you could find out there too when you travel. But and then I started talking to owners of lounges too, because I was more interested in what's behind the curtains. You know what I mean? What's involved with it? And As it turns out, it didn't seem very practical for any time in the near future to be able to run a lounge while I have to travel for work. So I wound up developing a blend, and more so was just having fun with it, and the blend was really good. And that's how the whole thing started. And the Jungle Land was our launch cigar. So there were several others in the inventory with new ones coming as well. And as far as, I'd love to say there's a big fancy story about Grouchy Monkey itself, but we had a rescue dog, a black mix, and we used to call her Monkey Butt, and she had the bitchiest resting face. So somehow we came up with Grouchy Monkey from that, and it stuck. I got an artist to do the logo and told the artist what I wanted, and the artist actually nailed it on the first shot. I'm like, this is exactly what I was looking for, and it turned out with that, and then there was a big story was like, how do I go into a fancy Latin American industry with a monkey, and try and build a reputable and prestigious brand.
And put a fedora on it.
Yeah, we'll put fedora in the cigar. So no, but anyways, it's we're very happy with what we created. So
it's
and
very
that's
nice.
a real simple story of the monkey.
That's a great story. It's a great story of how it came around.
Yeah.
Of course, for anyone new getting into cigars, of course, and finally hearing about you, how long is it now? There's, of course, Grouchy Monkey's been on the market for, and how long have you been, of course, running the company for? Because of
under
course,
2
you
years.
found it.
Yeah,
right. So
under 2 years.
Something. Even under that, your social presence at the moment, Hyman, from TikTok to Instagram, near enough every day I go on, I'm seeing a different post and another post and another post and another post. Someone smoking it, of course. Big shout out to the Leaf Cutters, of course.
Yeah.
Great friends of ours, and seeing them, of course, posting today and stuff. You're out there. You're being known for what you're doing. And it's fantastic. And, of course, I just wanted to put another shout out, of course, to Jesse at Tobacco G-Sticks, of course, because Jesse said to me, brother, you need to get in touch with Hyman. You need to go and try their cigars. I'm like, okay, I'll shoot you a message. So big shout out to Jesse, of course, and one of our friends. And
another great
something,
guy.
I like the band. Yeah, I do like the band, and the band sticks out to me. And it's unique. It's unique to see a monkey smoking a cigar. And it's like, when we're sitting, you know something, when you're sitting with your friends, there's a bit of monkeying around, of course. You're taking the wet out of one another. You're riding one another. And you know something, I could see me there sitting smoking a cigar with a monkey on, and people going, what are you smoking? Well, it's Grouchy Monkey. It's got a monkey on. You taking the piss, a monkey? Yeah, monkey. I like monkeys, because I do. And it is unique. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to shut up for 5, and I'm going to pass it up to Grumpy. So, Grumpmeister, go on. Don't sit there in your corner. Open your mouth and ask some questions, brother.
Well, well, I mean, like you said, things are relatively new still. Kind of give us a little insight. What if somebody wanted to, other than the fact of don't do it, what advice would you give to somebody who had a passion to get into this at the level that you've gotten into it at? I mean, we know there's different levels we can jump into this game at, but I mean, you're both feet in up to your eyeballs. So, I mean, you there was obviously something there that inspired you just to go hog wild with it if you're gonna go, go to the wall with it. So what would you offer up to somebody who's got that kind of vision, that kind of dream?
It's a great question. And I would say I'm a person who doesn't believe in wishing I had done something. You know what I mean? I just
Right.
don't believe in that. And they said that the graveyard is filled with people with great ideas. And I just won't be one of those people. I never
That's
have.
right.
And going into aviation, it was that same mentality. Um, I would say when you follow your passion, if it really is your passion, then do something with it for sure.
Right.
I will say that it's not the easiest thing to do. What you're, you know, it's the market is saturated with a lot of boutique brands, and there's some really good ones out there. If you search around, you can
True.
find some really amazing
True.
cigars. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I would say do it or do something of the sort that involves your passion, whether it be owning a lounge or mobile lounge, or there's so many different aspects you could get into this business. You can become a
Right.
brand rep. But if you want to start a brand, yes, it's just a lot of work. I
Right.
don't consider it work because I'm enjoying it. But when I'm watching TV, I'm doing stuff. So even it's kind of like a 24/7 thing. But I don't mind that because I'm enjoying the whole process. I'm very hands-on right now, and
Yeah, thank you. You're going right into that next question because I was going to ask you, you know, I was going to ask you what your level of intensity is as far as, you know, how hands-on do you like to be? Because we've talked to over the last 3 years, we've talked to people who are at all different levels, of how hands-on they are with what they got going on. And that was going right into it. So yeah, just keep cooking.
well,
you're,
yeah,
you're right on it.
appreciate that, and that's
Yeah.
I am very hands-on with everything from the start. And what I did is I'm sole funded, so I don't have investors, and I wanted to make sure if I'm investing my money in my retirement, because what I did this business for is not for making money next week, next year. I did this to build a substantial business for 5 years from now, so that I can I
Right.
can retire from aviation and be full time in the cigar business. At a certain point, you start getting a little bit bigger, and you need to make sure you're delegating the right things to be done for you. Like
Mhm.
I did a lot of banding myself, you know what I mean, and
Right.
I had to be able to cut costs wherever I could to make this happen, and now for me it's not that practical. So I'll have my cigars, by the way, are made by Miguel Pinto, who also
Right.
makes several different big boutique brands, including El Mago and Superior Standard, and my brother there at Revere Cigars. So and the factory can do all that for me, but at first, I just needed to be hands-on, and there was honestly
Right.
a certain amount of pride involved in doing all that myself. But now as you get busier, it's important that the focus is on that I'm able to be receptive to our guests. So we don't consider customers, as my lead ambassador Sean says. Sean Turner, shout out to your brother and the rest of my ambassadors, by the way. But
Yeah.
we refer to people as guests of Grouchy Monkey, and we treat them that way. And I'm priding myself on having the best customer service in the industry. So
That's great
Well,
to
I
hear.
can appreciate every bit of that. This thing's off to a nice little start. Uh, it started out um like holding a cedar log wrapped in pepper in your mouth there for about the first three good puffs.
mhm.
It was like, I'm thinking like, how long's this ride gonna last? But it mellowed right out, but it still has a very nice cedar flavor in it. Um, it does still have some little pepper, especially on the retro. but I'm enjoying this one. Nice ride so far. But go ahead, Matthew. Throw something at this gentleman.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for coming on.
Definitely.
Tonight, I am pairing the Habano with Japanese whiskey.
Oh, interesting.
I wanted to go with something a little different. I thought about some ideas, and I was trying to go with something that would sort of complement it rather than hitting power for power. I feel like they're playing off each other. They're bringing out the sweetness in each other, and I'm really enjoying that. I'm definitely getting
whiskey, Matthew?
more.
Did you pull out the Tenjiku?
That's it. Tenjiku.
Yep. Tenjiku. Yep.
That's all. That's the only Japanese whiskey I have at the moment. But thanks for calling me out there, Gas. No, but seriously, like I don't always do bourbon. I don't always do rye. I like most whiskey. I've not found a whole lot that I don't like, so I like to change it up every once in a while. And I think this is going really well together. What is a pairing that you would do, especially specifically with this Habano that I'm smoking tonight?
Well, for me, I'm a coffee drinker, so I'm personally allergic to alcohol, so I don't drink alcohol. I break out in handcuffs when I drink. So
I was wondering.
Yeah, really.
So, but oddly enough, it really does pair very well with different types of coffee. Number one, different types of soda, which I wouldn't normally be a soda drinker, but something with the amount of sugar in like a Coca-Cola or root beer goes good with it. I rely on the best is when I have people receiving the cigars and doing pairings like Sean Turner does. Again, back to Sean, does a lot of great pairings. And it's very great. It's great for me to see because I don't drink personally to see how the pairings are. And again, I did drink, so I know, whiskey and scotch and stuff. And people tend to lean towards whiskey, I guess, with blends for our cigars so far. So,
yeah, man. Okay, cool. One question, you kind of started into it a little bit, but I wanted to talk to you about, like, how did you get connected with Miguel, and what does that blending process look like when you're working on a blend with him?
Another super question. So this whole thing, let's just back up just one quick step. And so you let's say you just wanted to have a cigar line and you want to build a brand. So you kind of have in your mind what you're looking for in a cigar. So you can go out there, and there's, especially in the Miami area, we have a tremendous amount of small factories. And then there's obviously the bigger ones, but the bigger factories really want you to commit to like a minimal order on one particular cigar. So now you're putting a massive investment into one particular cigar, right?
Right.
So I actually spent most part of the first year. I got the Jungle Land done, and I was very happy with the results. And then Miguel actually owns a lounge. He actually owns 2 lounges and has his warehouse and factory here in my neighborhood where I live. So I know people who know Miguel, and his lounge is actually right down the street from me. And I actually eventually met later with Miguel. And Miguel, the difference is all the people that I met with were trying to say everybody else's cigars suck. You need to make them here. And I have a big draw thing. To me, like, one of my biggest pet peeves is a tight draw on a cigar. And I found a lot of those where, again, we're going back to smoking 10 of them. So I would get 10 cigars of a particular factories and make some blends and throw them together, and smoke them. And 2 or 3 out of the 10 had a bad draw. And it just really turned me off to that right away. But like I said, I did find someone to make the Jungle Land. I was happy with that. But then Miguel when I actually got to sit down with Miguel, it's the way he talked to me that made all the difference in the world, and the person that he is. He said, look, this is a good cigar. He said, this is a good blend. And he talked to me in depth about the blend. And he said, this is what I would do a little bit different. And I was intrigued by that. And I wound up saying, okay, let's say recreate it, break it apart, recreate it. And this is what the original blend is. And he, knocked it out of the park. It truly became a better cigar with the same basic blend. A level of complexity was added to the Jungleland series that gave it a much more desirable punch and more rememberable experience. And this is a guy who's amazing at what he does, but he's a very quiet, he doesn't like the whole, how would you say, recognition of it all. He just likes to do what he does.
Yeah, he don't care about the spotlight.
No, he doesn't care about the spotlight at all. And he's not a lot for words, but when he tells you something, that's the way I am. If I tell you I'm going to do it, it's done. You do it. That's all there is to it.
Exactly.
So my relationship with him was the best gift for Grouchy Monkey that there could ever be. I wouldn't hesitate to continue doing every cigar with him from here on out,
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate when people sell what they can do more than they sell what everybody else does bad. You know what I mean? I really like that approach better than they all suck. Trust me. You know what I mean? That never wins anything with me. So that's a great thing to hear about.
Exactly.
How that relationship started, and just this cigar so far is really good. Your ambassador, I believe, just put his pairing notes in there, and I would definitely enjoy it with that rum that he first said, that Ranzacapa. That is a great rum. I don't have any, but it's a great rum, and I've never tried cognac, so I don't know how Remy Martin is.
It's good.
Buffalo Trace is a standard. I love it.
Buffalo Trace,
it's
of course.
Great. Yeah, nice and sweet. So yeah, I'm gonna have to follow up on the other two. See how I think of those. But yeah, so far that's all great notes. Thank you. Yeah, Gaz, you got something else?
Yep. No, you know me, I've got tons. So of course, I know we said this. You're into the coffee, of course, Annie. And doing a bit of digging around. I know you've got your own coffee. So how did that idea come around to having your own coffee? Because I've seen a lot of boutique cigar companies quite recently do the cigar, then they're getting into that coffee. And some people that I've spoke to, I'm not going to mention names, have said the coffee doesn't go great with the cigar, or our coffee's better than this company's coffee, or this and that. Which we're not bothered about that. But we're more interested in why that idea came around to have coffee. Why did it get into this? Something, we're going to have coffee as well. So what was the whole idea around that?
So originally, this whole idea, the evolution of it was originally to do coffee and cigar both. And I basically stepped away from the coffee in the beginning because all the effort had to be put into doing the cigars, because if you're going to do something, do it right. But I actually did, at a certain time, just say, let's just get what we picked and get it ordered. So I've actually had the coffee literally almost 6 months before I even released it. And I guess I released it at the right time because there was some interest. We've sold quite a bit of it. My passion is not into coffee as much as it is into cigars, but I thought we could offer a real interesting thing to add on to having a lot to offer as a company. And, we just went with it. And I will be headed to Nicaragua in the next month or two. And we're going to go ahead and do some new blends. And while I'm down there, that region of Esteli, within an hour of there is coffee farms. So I'm actually going to spend maybe 2 days of the trip and go and visit coffee farms directly and really be able to source some really good coffee directly. So I'm just listen. This is about having fun with
Yeah.
the whole thing. You know what I mean? If it becomes, arduous and it becomes overwhelming, then it becomes just a regular business, like you're going to your 9-to-5 job. And that's not what I ever want with this. I want to really enjoy it. And oddly enough, I'm not in a lot of lounges, and that's by design. People say I'm crazy because the standard thing that people do is they make their boxes. Let's say, I don't know, whatever, John Cigars, and they make a Habano Maduro, Connecticut.
Yep.
Now you got to go out to lounges and start marketing to them, and you're selling to them at wholesale price, right? So it's really more of a business thing. And I think it takes a lot of the passion out of it for me. So we're really staying focused on just staying direct to consumer for now. And what I do is I like to say, let's say that I'm wholesaling at 50%, right? I would rather give that 50% directly to my guest by giving them an extra cigar, by giving them challenge coins, stickers, fun stuff. You know what I mean? And so what we're doing is under promise and over deliver. And I think I want everybody that opens their box, like, to get a wow factor. And it's like I have a couple orders today I put out that they ordered 2 cigars, which I find a little odd. But, they got 2 cigars and then they got an extra cigar and swag and all the other things I threw in there. So there's going to be a wow factor. So rather than building a huge business that requires excessive employees and such, I would rather keep it small and give that expense that I would have done wholesaling and give it right to my consumer, my guest, more importantly.
Let's go. Yeah. You know something. I've got to say straight away. Of course, thank you for sending out, of course, the care packages to, of course, Matthew, and sending it out to Grumpy. And as soon as Grumpy showed us, of course, with the stickers, the lighter, the cigars, and everything, it really stood out. It really stood out of the box, especially with having the Grouchy Monkey design on. Opening that box and seeing everything in, you can tell straight away that you're looking after the customer. And I think you've just nailed it straight there on the head. It's been there, it's been hands-on, it's been there with the customer, and not focusing on them lounges, basically being where you are. And it's hard to get in cigar lounges, as we know, because you've got the challenges of the legacy cigars. You've got the challenges of the boutique cigars that have been out now for 3-4 years that are getting into that legacy market. Of course, with all the facings that they want you to have. Well, you've got to have 9 facings, and we've got to do this, and we've got to do that. And I don't think, as well, with some cigar lounges, they know how to look after the boutique brands. Because as you walk in, you're looking for that boutique brand, and it's down on the floor near enough. Yeah. Because the legacy at the top, the ones that everyone knows are at the top of that market, and you're trying to find a legacy cigar, you're trying to find a boutique cigar, and you're looking and you can't find it because it's not being shown. So doing what you're doing is great to see. Now, of course, we've got a friend that's called Distinguished Gent Mayash, which gets into my kind of next question. Tell me the story of the Distinguished Ape. Of course, I know Grumpy is going to go, wow, a Candela cigar, the Distinguished Ape. So tell us the story around that. Hyman, how that one came around.
Yeah.
So the Distinguished Ape, I had to be out of my mind, like coming out with a Candela. And reasonably early on, I didn't, because I found a great cigar. You know what I mean? I had to make it, and it did come from my original factory that I dealt with. And actually, it's probably the only cigar that they still make for me. But it was just such a good cigar when we made it that, I just went with it. And again, it's a niche cigar. So, but if anyone you would be really, really surprised if you smoked that cigar. You would be like, that's a great cigar.
Grumpy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And not
Grumpy
only
be
that, what
interested
I
in that
said when we're making it, I took the Arturo Fuente Candela.
Oh,
And
man.
I said, what I want is not this. Whatever you make, just don't make this. You know what I mean? Because it lacked anything there to me. You know what I mean? It's just like they just wanted to put a Candela on the market. And that's the thing a big business would do. Where's the passion behind that particular cigar? There's nothing there to me when you smoke it, you know? So we wanted to make sure Distinguished Ape was a good cigar. And we got the whole James Bond monkey thing going with the bow tie. And, you know, listen, this is the fun of it all. If I want to make sure I'm having fun, you know?
Yeah, always.
Love it.
Always. But yeah, that's
And of course, we
I
just
need to
had
try that.
a pairing suggestion.
Yeah, I need to try that.
So there we
It's
go.
got tobacco from Ometepe
There's
in
the
it.
pairing
If you're
suggestion.
familiar with Ometepe, it's
Yes.
volcanic soil in Nicaragua that produces very, very distinguished, very flavorful tobacco because of the volcanic soil. Yeah.
I need to try some
So,
sake with
of course,
cigars.
with-
I haven't done that yet.
So I know,
Cigar
of course,
sake.
with most of the cigar. What, Grump?
Oh, no, he said sake with cigars. I said cigar sake.
I'm sure there's
Cigar
someone
sake.
who could
Yeah.
pair
Yeah,
and,
cigar sake.
and review it.
Oh yeah.
Sean, you're up
Well,
on the sake, man.
I've lost my
sake review.
trail of thought now. Sorry,
Oh,
Grump.
no.
Look,
I lost
behind,
my
look
trail of
behind you.
thought
It's
now.
right back there. It's right behind you.
So yeah, I know. Of course, most of the cigars, of course, were Nicaragua.
See what I mean?
Is there any other region? Is there any other regions of tobacco that you're looking into? I mean, of course, of changing the cigars or in your next cigar lines that you're going to be bringing out. Are you going to be using Dominican fillers? Are you going to be using, of course, Honduran fillers, Cameroonian fillers? Are you going to be mixing the wrappers with Brazilian Matafina, Mexican San Andreas? So you're looking, of course, at everything else. And is there anything that you can tell us that may be coming out with a different wrapper and different filler?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
absolutely. And that's
Is it a secret?
part of the fun of it. Again, back to the fun. So, yeah, absolutely, yes. And Miguel does source tobacco in his factory in Esteli. He brings in tobacco, Ecuadorian Habano, San Andreas Maduro. So he brings in different tobaccos. He does use Dominican tobacco as well. So definitely, I have like probably the next 3 cigars already planned out. And again, there's a lot to it to bring it out, to bring it to fruition or whatever.
Right.
So right now we're close to releasing the Coco Mono. And this is a really good cigar. It's a 6-inch by 50 ring gauge round cigar, a parejo, and it's actually made with real cocoa. So it's got Esteli, Condega, and Jalapa filler in it. So this is a good cigar, not an infused cigar, but it does have flavoring of cocoa, which the cocoa is from Costa Rica as well. So that's about what we're going to do. Is I should have them on June 4th from Miguel, and I'm going to get them out to the ambassadors first, let them give me a review and their 2 cents. And then we'll talk about a release date coming up soon. And we have the boxes. We have, the bands are already done with the cigars down in Nicaragua. That's the next one coming out, but we have several plans up and coming. And yeah, I'd like to diversify like you talked about, Gaz. And again, I didn't understand this when you go to different boutique cigar companies and it's like, it's got tobacco from 12 different countries. And I mean, what are we doing here? Are we just trying to, are we just trying to do anything to spike interest to sell cigars, or are we really just trying to make a great cigar? And you wouldn't put 12 different tobaccos in a cigar. So, but there are some interesting tobaccos out there that we can use to create some new flavors. And I love, Gaz, me personally, I love the smoothness of some of the Dominican brands. Me personally, I hope that when the time comes, it will sell and people will enjoy it as well. Because people love that pepper and that spice and everything to cigars, which Nicaragua and Esteli especially gives you. But I personally love a nice, smooth Dominican cigar, like a La Flor.
I like Dominican cigars. Yep.
La Galera.
You
Those
can't
are
beat La Flor.
amazing.
Don't get me wrong. Yep.
I
love Dominican cigars. I love Nicaraguan cigars. I don't mind, of course, Honduran. I don't mind Cameroonian. I like to try a variety, and this is the thing. And it gets into what we've said for years now, for 3 years. You look at the legacy brands, and we don't trash legacy brands because we're friends with a lot of legacy brands. We enjoy a lot of legacy brands.
No problem with that.
But they aren't willing to change that recipe. It's the same. It's this. Yeah, most of the times it's like they're stuck to it. Of well, this is our secret recipe. This is what we're going to use all the time.
Yeah.
And then you look at yourself. You look at the rest of the boutique cigar companies. It's a case of right. Well, we're gonna pull out this wrapper. We're gonna go and pull out this binder. We're gonna have this fillet. We're gonna put this together. See how it goes. And then you're looking. And it sells. And then the legacy cigar companies are going, hang on a minute, is this behind us? Right, we're going to bring out this kind of cigar now. And it seems to be this legacy is slowly waking up, but boutique are already out there. Now, how do you feel on the fact of there was something told to me, and I was kind of, okay, I don't believe it. I do believe it in different things. Now, over here, the marketers, it used to be 50-50. New World Cigars, Cubans. At the moment, Cubans have gone down. So then I got into another conversation of legacy to boutique. Are we seeing more boutique than legacy? So my question to you, Hyman, is, do you think legacy and boutique are 50-50 each in the market? Or do you reckon this boutique are taking more over than legacy?
I would, again, this is an assumption. This is a guess at it. I would have to say the legacies are well exceeding the boutique brands. I mean, they're just such a massive scale. I mean, look at, like I was mentioning, La Galera with their own farms and their own curing and barns and, and fermentation of the tobacco and then producing the cigars. It's such an epic scale, and like AJ Fernandez, for instance. I mean, and again, I have the utmost respect for that. It's just magnificent what they've created. But I don't think the boutique has stepped up to that playing field yet. I don't think we really have. I think we have in the eyes of a lot of consumers, which is what spikes the interest in the boutique brands. And I just know that there's so much love put into, and I could guarantee you this from any other company, boutique company out there, there's so much love and passion put into every cigar that's produced, and,
Right.
we cannot afford to put out a crappy cigar, nor would anyone want to, you know what I mean? It's not like, let's just get the cheaper tobacco because we need to produce more of them. Nobody in boutique, I think, does that. You know what I mean? It'd be better to have less profit and have the better tobacco, for instance, and produce a really great cigar that people are going to enjoy. That's all,
all day long.
Yeah, you got to be passionate as well. And to be honest with you, from when we were in COVID and lockdown, I saw more boutique cigars coming out than anything. Of course, like Christoph cigars before they became a legacy. Foundation cigars, of course, coming out, and they're slow emergence. Then you look at Hyman Solomon cigars, and they're slow emergence to now they, of course, legacy. The different ones, and then as the years have gone on, the amount of different companies like yourself, Sable Cigars, of course, last week that we had on. Of course, Honeybee Cigars with what she's doing, Brie.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at Balladama, Lewis cigars and so forth. We're seeing more now of boutique cigars coming out, and I think if anything, you've only got to look on the different stores of what's being sold. You're seeing a lot more legacy now being posted than some of the legacy, because legacy are taking a step down, boutique are taking over, and people are getting into it and saying, you know what, that cigar that I used to enjoy, I don't enjoy it no more, because you know what, I've picked up the Shipwreck by Grouchy Monkey. I'm enjoying that. Why is it there's my old favorites changed so much, but this new one, this is blowing me out the water? And I think it's just a crazy market. But of course,
it really is.
What's the progression for Grouchy Monkey this year, and where do you see, of course, the remainder of this year for Grouchy Monkey, and then coming into, of course, the first quarter of 2027? Where do you see the company being?
We just want to continue to make great cigars, like absolutely cigars that get this kind of reaction, like the Shipwreck gets, for instance. I have people, it's so much pride. I mean, when I'm putting together an order and putting it in the box to ship, again, something that maybe I won't be doing one day, but there's a certain amount of pride involved with that. But yeah, like I said, I have the next several cigars planned out, and a trip to Nicaragua with Miguel planned out. Make some more blends, just keep making some fantastic cigars. And I'm going to do, like you said, Gaz, I'm going to look at what can we do a little different, not just to make a gimmick, you know what I mean? But we can put some interesting tobaccos together and come up with some really great blends that people enjoy. You know, that's it, and have fun. And I don't want to do, like you said, like Christoph, where I become, I really don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm doing this as like a retirement gig, because I want to work the rest, be doing something the rest of my life, you know? And I don't want to create a company like that where I need accountants and bookkeeping, and doesn't seem appealing to me.
I get it. Yeah, I get it from your side, and I also get it from other companies that, of course, don't want to get out of that boutique cigar market, but it's slowly graduating. They are moving out of that, and they're getting into, of course, the legacy realm. And one company, of course, for instance, is Medri Thierry. Medri Thierry getting from that boutique now and getting into that legacy. And John doesn't want to. He's still adamant, I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep it this way. And I get that. I do. And that's great to see, because you've got to be passionate about what you're doing. You can tell from everyone that I've spoken to that you're passionate and everything. Now, are you going to be going PCA next year, or are you looking at keeping away from PCA and doing some other events? Where are you on the event scene, basically, with doing events?
Yeah, the plan absolutely is to try and be at PCA next year. I don't know if I'm actually going to do booth and everything like that. I'm not that far yet. As a pilot, I have a very, very not fixed schedule, you know, so when the owners want to go, we go, type of thing, which gives me a lot of time at home, which is great and perfect for this profession, because I am very anal about being hands-on and making sure everything is done perfectly. But what I really look forward to is many of the small shows and cigar events that we can do, and not even small ones, to try and get to next year, like Charlotte, and there's some in Texas, and we're just planning on getting like a small RV, and when we have a show, we'll just drive out so we can bring all of our equipment, because I've seen people have to fly somewhere with a whole bunch of bags and stuff like that, and it's really challenging to market their brand, and I want to make sure I have everything looking perfect, you know? So shows are
you've
great.
also got to be careful as well, because you don't lose your cigars, do you? Because you know what it's like flying and luggage disappearing, and you've got your cigars in there, you've got to be at the cigar event, and then next thing it's like, where the frig did that bag go? And you got someone walking out with a Grouchy Monkey bag with all the cigars and going, hey, look at what I've got, see you.
Well, we would hope to believe there's some honor system here, but you know, you do have to look out. But
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I agree. I agree with what you're doing, and the fact of it is, it's great to hear that you're looking at going to these different events and what you want to do. And you know something, we see things with different companies, and we see the passion. We see, of course, people enjoying the cigars. But what I'm going to do, going to go back up to Grump and go up to Matthew, and of course get their takes on the cigars. So Grump, how's that cigar going, bro? I can see you. I can see you stacking.
Yeah. I have no problems. No problems with the construction. The draw is there's not a thing wrong with that. It's just as nice as you'd ever want. Keeps that nice cedary thing keeps staying in there. You get a little bit of the chocolateness when you bounce into that darker part of it. But now there's I don't get that walnutty stuff, but there's and I can't put a finger. It's something. It's almost citrusy, but it don't stay there. It just kind of like it's just kind of like a spritz of something. You know, you get it for a puff or two. You know, it's almost a citrusy thing, but it's not something that is a constant. But no, I'm enjoying it very much so. I'm not getting me complain about it at all.
Okay. Matthew,
Very nice.
what about you and your cigar?
Man, so far so good. I let the ash stay on about as long as I could. It was about yay long, and then it fell off, and I've been tapping it off ever since. I can't. I'm too damn fidgety. But you know, the fact that I was able to get it to about 2.5 inches shows the quality of construction here. Because I'm usually about an inch max, and then I knock it off. As far as flavor goes, I mean, I'm definitely still getting some of that like sort of graham cracker note. I'm getting some cocoa now. I've got some slight sweetness. I don't know if it's like a fruitiness that may be coming from the whiskey or whatever. There's a little bit of that going on, and I'm really enjoying that. It's about medium. It's not like a overpowering cigar in any way. Just a really good cigar. One that I will look to enjoy some more. Yeah, man, for sure. I'm enjoying this. It's a great cigar. The draw, like you said, the draw is perfect. It's not so like there's like too loose, you know, where it just feels like you're trying to breathe through one of those big ass boba straws.
Yeah.
Or you know, or and then there's like too tight. You can't draw it at all. This is kind of somewhere in the middle, and it's perfect.
Yeah. It's very.
I like that there's a little bit of resistance, but you know, it's still very nice. But yeah, all in all, even my anal retentiveness hasn't made me touch up this cigar too much. And if I have it again, it's usually because I smoke too fast at times.
Me too.
Yeah, but all in all, I'm really enjoying it. I like your branding. I love these bands with the monkey and the what looks maybe like a cup of coffee on there. It's just a great little band. Just love it.
Yep.
I can't wait for you to smoke the Connecticut if you haven't smoked it already, because it's really got substance for Connecticut.
Okay.
So I'd love to hear when the time comes if you can get one lit and smoke it and just shoot me some message, because I think you'll be like, wow. I've heard some really
you'll know it.
The industry say that's like one of the best Connecticut's they've ever smoked. So
well, I'll look forward to it.
There'll definitely be a review coming out on the Connecticut. Like I say, when it gets over to here and I got my hands on it at the end of the year, because my friend's coming over. No, but you can. But I'll do a review on it as well and see, because I do like a good Connecticut like Grumpy does, and that's the thing again. You get two different sides. of course, you get an English side of what I probably get if I'm knitting any of the notes. And of course, we're Grumpy because, as we know, two different palettes, two different places of where we live. Me in England, of course, Grumpy down there in the Panhandle. And it's great to hear when you've got two different views of what you're getting. But of course, if you could choose a name in the Grouchy Monkey Cigar Company cigars of a new portfolio, and it's got to be a unique name. So of course, we know there's 12 monkeys. Of course, see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. The 3 wise monkeys and stuff. What would be a great new name for a cigar that you'd be coming out with, Hyman? What would you call it?
I'm going to tell you what's coming. We have a cigar called Blackbeard coming out, and it's got the whole monkey and the Blackbeard motif, and we're going to make an amazing cigar with it. Blackbeard, and then what else do I have? We're going to do a more traditional cigar too, called what did I do?
Vanilla Gorilla.
No, I've like kind of progressed away from not so much the fun naming, but like the Blackbeard is kind of off the wall. But there's no Blackbeard cigar out there, so I hope somebody doesn't go ahead and steal it. And the Vanilla Gorilla, that's a good one, and I kind of like vanilla flavoring myself. Someone posted that in the comments, but yeah.
The leaf gutters.
Yeah, that's why awesome. I said that.
That was.
Yeah, that's where I come up with it. I didn't make it up on my own. I stole it.
And I was originally, when I started with the Jungle Land.
A lot of unique names.
Yeah.
What was that? I was just going to say with the 3 monkeys, I was entertaining that in the beginning. You know what I mean? And I saw someone had done it, and I just always wanted to remain authentic in everything that we do.
Yep.
So I stepped away from that. So
understood.
The thing is, it's like when I was sitting and, of course, putting everything together, and of course, putting the promotion post out. I was like, I need a song that's edgy. So this is going to be my next question to you. So I'm there and I'm looking through and I'm like, do I use one of the Monkey cigars? I'm not a big Monkeys fan. So then, of course, I'm looking again. And the song that I chose, of course, was Shock the Monkey. Not the original by Peter Gabriel, but the Cold Chamber and, of course, Ozzy Osbourne version. So if you could choose a song that's about monkeys, what would be the song that you choose for your cigar brand? What would be that song?
Okay, well, we already have it. And what's great about cigars is community, right? And the friends that you make is just incredible. And I thought it was always that way with aviation. I was very surprised to see even more so with the cigar community. And, you know, I have a friend, Keith Meisner. He's known as Cigar Pop. And Keith made me a song for Grouchy Monkey. And it's just fabulous. But it's so interesting that it turns out I was able to actually meet Keith in person and meet up at a lounge and smoke a cigar with him. So that's the beauty of it. I'll just play just 2 seconds of it, if I may, because it's really cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a little rough day, I know the cure. Little bit grouchy, little bit sore. Long day burning, running since mom strike that match. Watch the first leaf blow.
Oh, let's get it back
That's
up.
awesome.
It's just 2 seconds of it. And
That's cool.
there we go.
Take one draw, feel the whole world slow. Step in the jungle where good smoke grows. Jump
Well, my apologies.
fire in every road. Distinguished state with that clean green flow. Take a pull, take a breath, let it unwind. Funky monkey rhythm, leave the day behind. Big smoke, slow burn
Yep. So there you go. So that's,
Damn.
I mean, that was done as a gift to me,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
fantastic. And eventually, if we ever
Yeah,
have a Grouchy
great.
Monkey podcast, we'll have that as our entry, which you guys did a fabulous song for your, introduction to the show, by the way. Congrats on
Thank
that.
you.
It's a
Appreciate
song.
that.
It's a song that was created a long time ago, where we've changed song after song after song to the point we finally found the one that is great for myself, of course, Grumpy, and also Matthew, and it really sticks with us. And also, of course, the song that we have when we're doing reviews, and it's just the three of us, and we like it. There's, of course, the guest enjoys that song. You enjoy, of course, the production with the intro and the outro that we put together, and that's what it's about. And that's a great song, of course. Now, I know you just mentioned about podcast. Are you looking at getting into the realms of podcasting eventually, or is that just an idea at the moment?
Yes, I
and
would.
You're looking
I
at
would
maybe
like
doing so,
to.
maybe not.
No, I would like to. I just, and again, not to just, if I did something, it wouldn't be solely, just everything Grouchy Monkey. You know what I mean? I'm a believer in boosting the other boutique brands as much as I can as well. That's why,
Yep.
like, I have a Grouchy Monkey cigar group online on Facebook, and some people are like, "Oh, he posted, some other company's cigar," and I'm like, "That's okay.
Yeah,
Let's hear about it.
exactly.
Review it. Listen, I'm not out to hurt anybody,
Yeah.
and we can help each other, and that's a much better. It feels right to do it that way. So,
Exactly. I mean, when you were
So,
talking earlier,
go on.
when you were talking earlier about pet peeves and stuff, that one that you were talking about. I mean, I just phrase it a little different, but the way I see it, if you've got to run down another person's product to make yours look good, why am I going to trust that your product's any good? If you gotta trash a brother or a sister that's in the same industry you're in, you gotta trash their product. Chances are you're using the same tobaccos.
Right.
Where's your high ground?
Right.
That turns me away immediately.
That high ground is very important to us.
Yeah,
It's just very, very important to us.
yeah,
Love it.
I think, but you just hit on the head there with the cigar companies, and even, of course, in this with doing cigar podcasting. Well, you don't want to watch that one; you want to watch ours. It's everywhere.
yeah.
We see it, and the fact of it is, you just
Oh,
got to
you
carry on
get
doing
it.
what you're doing. Be passionate about what you're doing, and show to people there's like, yeah, okay, do you want to say this? But look what we're doing every week. We're here every week. What are they doing? Oh, theirs is a recorded show. Oh, they aren't keeping with the same days. They're changing it up all the time. We're constant in there. And the fact of it is, we've got that love for boutique. And we talk about boutiques non-stop. So, out of the boutique cigar companies that are around, Hyman, what cigar has stood out for you from just 3 companies alone that you've smoked?
I love this question, by the way. So, obviously my brother from El Mago Cigars, so Nick Fusco, he's a brother. It's made in the same factory by Miguel as well. He's just doing amazing things. He's an incredible guy. And more importantly is who people are to me. I will shout out to Howard G, because I believe he makes some of the finest cigars out there in the market. He's got a Black Moses cigar and a Perfecto that I think is probably one of the better cigars out there. Again, $13, $14 cigar, you know what I mean? Priced right, superb, just amazing. And I'll give you a little interesting one. There's a company, I think the cigar is called Cuban Stock. They own a small factory in Dominican Republic, and I think they're out of Philadelphia. And it's just a family business. And they have a 10-year white label cigar, which I have boxes of them for me personally. Love to mix it up. And when you smoke so much Nicaraguan tobacco, it's just really enjoyable to pull out a Puro Dominican cigar. And the quality that 10-year aged tobacco cigar is, again, one of the best cigars I've ever smoked. So listen, boutiques are knocking it out of the park. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So we've gone on boutique. So 3 legacy companies that cigars stand out to you from 3 legacy companies that you enjoy.
So, I mean, listen, obviously Padron, the guy doesn't even need to advertise. You know what I mean? And I've had the pleasure, I've had the pleasure of flying them before. Jorge Padron. I've flown him several times down to Mexico, and obviously, got to talk and get a bunch of cigars from him to smoke while we were down there. Just incredible, amazing family story. The history, and just incredible. I'll go back to La Galera again with the, everything in-house type of thing. I would have that over a Fuente any day of the week. You can have the Opus X. I can get 3 La Galeras instead of an Opus X, and I would pick that in a heartbeat. Just me. Listen, some people love it, and it is.
I do the same thing.
It's true.
I do the same.
It's true.
Yeah,
but listen, I'm a big fan of trying cigars. I don't think anybody really wants to all I smoke is Arturo Fuente Don Carlos number 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not. I think this is the beauty of this industry, is that people like diversity. You want to go to a lounge, and I know when I go a lounge, I get this thought in my head, what can I try new? I know there's something in that humidor that's new that I haven't smoked, and get to try it and evaluate how much I like about it. My Father Blue, another good $12 cigar. And that I also flew them. I flew them down to Nicaragua years ago. The whole family with Pete Johnson from Tatuaje was there. Absolutely beautiful, wonderful people. So I'm really into the education part. I did my certified sommelier tobacconist certification with Tobacconist University, and going to do the next level too, because I spend a lot of time watching documentaries and such, because every factory and everything has a different story. And for me, I'm a boutique brand and everything, but I have nothing bad to say whatsoever about your mainline brands. They've had their own challenges. They have their own stories. Their successes are well earned. So art, science, everything all packed into one.
Yeah. Now you just mentioned about the cigar sommelier course qualification. That's a hard one on me, because I've heard from multiple people it's a quick, easy qualification to get. 2.5 years for me to get mine in the UK, and also another 5 years to get my Cuban qualification. To me,
and
doing
there's validity
doing
to
that
that,
test in 6 weeks, it hits me hard for a 6-week course, and you get that qualification.
But it's only an entry level qualification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have the next level, which becomes much more difficult. So it's how much you want to do with it. And I have nothing but great things to say about doing it, because I learned. You know what I mean? It produced information for me to learn about the industry that made me more knowledgeable. Because when people talk to me, and when someone talks to you about a cigar in a cigar lounge, you now become the authority on cigars. You know what I mean? So it's the more knowledge, the more information you have, the better information you can give them. Again, everyone's going to have answers, but if you can give them good answers, it would be better. So
and this has been the thing of course, being around and doing what we do. Of course, smoking different cigars from yourself and different people. Of course, with me being friends with the cigar lounge in the UK that I use, and when I smoke the cigars, and he's like, "So who have you had on this week?" And you tell him, and they're like, "Oh, do you think we'll ever get in the UK?" And it's like, We're going to ask the importers when the PCA go and talk to them if they're PCA, or have a look, see if they are coming into the UK, or I can ask them if they're coming into the UK and let you know. And it's weird because the likes of West Tampa Tobacco Company, Ricky Rodriguez, of course, his cigars came out in the States. I smoked them. I mentioned them to the Cigar Lounge, and he's like, I'm going to ask around the importers. Next thing we knew, they were in the UK. And the same with Karen Berger, the same with Christoph, the same with different ones that I've smoked and suggested. And they've come. And this is the great thing about it. I think a lot of people doing that kind of qualification is it's a quick, easy thing to say, well, look at me, I've got this. And I'm not saying that about you, Hyman, but a lot of other people have got it. And to me, they aren't passionate about this market. They just want that qualification to say, well, look what I've got. And you can't be like that. You've got to do the education. You've got to go to the factory. You need to learn everything from the planting process all the way up to it being picked and rolled, the fermentation, everything. You need to learn that whole process.
And
that's
it's a
why
lot.
I'm very passionate about this.
Yeah, and it's a lot.
Yeah,
and you should be, because if you think about how amazing it is that they take these seeds and then they transplant them, and then the work, hands that touch those plants for the whole growth process, then moving it on to the barns to dry. You know what I mean? It's absolutely fascinating. I'm incredibly passionate about it as well, Gaz. And I had done the certification because I just wanted to take a step. Let's take a step and learn something. And again, the best education, like you said, is in the factory, where you can grab tobacco in your hands and smell it when it's at a certain point, and, you still smell the ammonia there and such. And, see how the process goes. And it's, listen, why is a cigar $14? Well, go see for yourself and you'll understand why a cigar is $14.
That's right.
Yeah. And you just hit it straight there. You just hit it straight there. And like I say, thanks for answering that, because I want to get that out about doing it. It is the first step. You need to do more. It's not just a case of you've got that qualification and you know everything. And
no such happening.
You've just done it there for me, like I say, and thank you for that. So, of course, last question that I normally ask, because I know it's getting on for an hour and 12 at the moment, and I just want to be careful on your time, of course, with Matthew's time, Grumpy's. And to be honest with you, it's still warm here. It's not dropped any, and I'm absolutely roasting, and all I want to do is go and strip off and run around the garden naked. Yeah, like a crazy monkey. But I can't at the moment because I'm on a podcast. But, of course...
Turn your camera off. I don't want to see.
Right.
Grumpy, you've got a picture of my brother and me in the bath that you look at every night and kiss before you go sleep.
I do. Well, I won't go that far, but now you keep on. I will show it.
Anyway, next one. So 5 people, of course, alive or dead, that you'd like to sit, smoke a cigar with. It can be anything from music, film, sport, family, anyone. But 5 people, alive or dead, that you would love to sit and smoke a cigar with.
I would love to smoke a cigar with, I forget the name, but the owner of La Galera in the Dominican Republic. I forgot what he goes by, Josie or something like that. I would love to smoke with him. I've actually, like I said, I've had many conversations with Jorge Padron, and so that wouldn't be added to the list. The guitarist from Metallica, what is his name again? That has his own brand.
Hammett?
James Hetfield.
No,
James
Hetfield. I would love to smoke a cigar with him. He has to be an incredibly interesting individual. Michael Jordan. I've done some reading about how, he's very into his cigars, very serious about his cigars. Let's see here. Let's make it interesting. Maybe Donald Trump would smoke a cigar with me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of him, but, it just seems like it would be interesting.
It'd be an interesting conversing either way, right?
Yeah, either way.
Something. It's great to see these people picking James Hetfield. I'm a big Metallica fan. And one of my favorite cigars, of course, is the blackened M81 with James Hatfield, Rob Dietrich, of course, of the Blackened Whiskey, and Jonathan Drew of Drew Estate Cigars. And there is a rumor, and it did happen in Switzerland over this last weekend. Jonathan Drew showed up at one of the cigar lounges with Rob Dietrich and James Hatfield, and they were smoking a cigars. So, of course, the events are going on in the UK at the moment, of course, because Metallica are touring Europe, and they are going to be in London in July, and there's going to be a pop-up event. And I believe you're going to find Rob Dietrich there, a member of Metallica, which it could be James, it could be, of course, Lars Ulrich, it could be Kirk Hammett, of course, guitar, it could be Robert Chalilo, the bassist, or it could be the man himself, singer and lead guitarist, James Hatfield. And you never know, Jonathan Drew might show up. But yeah, it's going on. And of course, we've also got Arnold Schwarzenegger. So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, big cigar connoisseur. And also, of course, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne's one of mine because he used to smoke cigars. And Ozzy used to inhale them. And then go to the sound stage and start singing and go, I can't really sing today, guys. Well, no wonder, because you've been inhaling 10 Monte Cristos in a day. Yeah.
Well, he's inhaled everything else, so.
Oh, yeah.
So,
God rest his soul. I've got the legend, so God rest his soul. God rest his soul.
Yeah, so back to the there's what's his name? Jonathan Drew is opening his new brand.
Yep,
and he's opening a facility very close to me, within a couple miles of where I live. And it's going to be the factory and restaurant and lounge, and it's just going to be fantastic to see. You know, he can do anything. The guy can just magical. You know.
But when you look at the companies that are around, and you've mentioned a lot of them, you look at what you're doing now. When you start getting there in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and everyone knows about you. Of course, people are starting to know about you now. People are knowing about your brand. But 5-year tenure of doing this, people are then going to look at you in the same light as if they were looking, of course, at Jonathan Drew. They were looking, of course, at Pedron, Arturo Fuente, my father, of course, JC Newman. They're going to start looking at you this way. And this is what I've tried to say to a lot of up-and-coming boutique cigar companies of, you're at the moment, you're in this big pond. You've got, of course, the big massive sharks, which are the legacy that have been going for years. You've got the medium sharks, which were them legacy brands 5-6 years back. You are now in this pond, and you're the small fish. You are moving up in that rank to become the medium, then to become the large. And every year, someone's changing from a medium to a large, from a small to a medium. And that's the pond. That's the work of the pond, as I would say, that's the way it is. And you're getting there, my brother. And hats off to you for what you're doing. And like I say, brand-wise,
you so much.
Brand-wise, stick straight out, of course. You've got some really nice-looking cigars. I can't wait to smoke them myself. And, of course, I know Grumpy and Matthew are really enjoying them tonight. Big thank you from me, of course, for joining us tonight and being on the show. And thank you for answering, basically, the questions. And I'm going to go back up to Grump and then, of course, down to Matthew. So go on, Grump.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gaz.
What? What?
You've just been showing your band, so come on, brother.
Tell us something, Tennessee.
How's that cigar?
Oh, well, we're getting down here on the business end of things. And like I said, it's consistent. I will say that. And it's very nice when it interchanges with the two wrappers. You kind of get that little flavor shift in there. The kind of the darkness, the espresso coffee kind of type chocolate thing picks up. Then on the other side, you still get the cedar thing kicking around. And I can't really call it, it's not like a harsh pepper at all. It's just a little bit of a spiciness to it. It ain't really enough to call it a pepper, I don't think. But it's a very interesting cigar. But I'm still gonna be looking forward to giving that Candela a shot.
Do you have it, or do I need to send it to you?
No, I've got to
Okay.
get a hold of that.
Okay, I'll have that. If you guys can send me a message to remind me tomorrow morning, and I'll
Cool.
get it. I'll get it right out to you.
Oh, cool deal. But yeah, especially when you said it wasn't like the other. That's very interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That piqued my interest. But yeah, this is an excellent cigar. There's absolutely nothing to complain about with this cigar at all. It's a very, very interesting, very palatable smoke. Very interesting, very nice.
Okay.
Matthew, you're up, buddy.
Matthew?
Yeah.
Where are you,
Your
Matthew? By
turn.
the way, where do you
Yeah,
live again?
I'm in Cleveland area, Cleveland,
gotcha.
Ohio. But yeah, I mean, so far, I will say at the end here, this thing is ramping up in intensity. It's still not overpowering or anything. The cocoa is coming pretty hard right now, which is nice. I'm getting still that kind of leather that's drying things out. It's really nice. Just fully enjoyable cigar front to back. Yeah, man, it's again, I haven't had any problems with it. Very nice flavors. I love a Habano, so that's why I chose to smoke this one tonight. Everything about it has gone well with the whiskey as well. I was reading some other notes that people have had, and I don't quite get fruitiness, but I do get a sweetness out of it. And that's just different palates, man. And I just I love going through a cigar and trying to think about all the little things, all little nuances and everything, and I don't feel like it's taken me on like any kind of crazy ride, but it's been a great smoke all the way through. So I appreciate it.
Definitely.
And Matthew, I'll get you the
Yep.
distinguished
I'd
eight
like to
as
say
well.
thank you.
Sure, brother. Thank you.
And thank you, of course, thank you for coming on. Like I say, I can't wait to be able to smoke the cigars when they come over here and get my hands on and smoke them. And I know, of course, me and Matthew and Grumpy have been speaking about it. And like I say, I cannot wait for my friend to get over to the United States.
I'd love to
in
hear about
September
it when you
and
do.
pick my
Yeah.
cigars up
Me either.
and bring
I
them
gotta-
back because
You're gonna empty this case.
I've got a lot of cigars sitting there. Come to daddy. Come to daddy. I can't wait. But yeah, and this is the thing. Something, we thank everybody and the generosity that's shown to us, of course, sending the
Exactly.
cigars. And by all means, Hyman, anytime you've got anything new coming out, my brother, you want to come on a podcast, you're more than welcome to come back, sit with us, and to tell everybody, because this is what it's about.
Definitely.
Everyone learning, everyone growing, everyone knowing about what's coming out. But of course,
Yeah.
if I could choose 3 monkeys tonight for Matthew, Grumpy, and myself,
Oh boy.
out of the 3 wise monkeys, I think
Yeah.
Matthew would be speak no evil, Grumpy would be see no evil, and me hear no evil.
Hear no
I ain't even seen a thing. I ain't seen a thing.
But I don't think that'll
Every once in a
work.
Every
did
once in a
nothing.
while, we got to
I did
remind
nothing.
Grumpy that he's in a podcast while we're doing it. So
Yeah, once in a while. I do wander off.
Mhm.
The squirrels
You know-
kind of
you
get
know
a little,
something, buddy?
Guys, thank
Yeah,
you
what a great
so
time.
much. Just a quick shout out. I got to thank
thank
my
you.
ambassador, Sean Turner, and the whole group
Yeah.
because they're the reason for the success for Grouchy Monkey.
There you go,
shout
man.
out to them, and it's really an honor to have been on with you guys. And
Hey, it's been an honor to have you.
Much appreciated. Yep.
Yeah.
But as I always say, of course, we
Been
are
our
live
pleasure.
again next week, 7 p.m. Eastern start time, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. And if you're watching in the UK, of course, it's midnight. And I think next week me, Grumpy, and Matthew, we're going to pull out them tinfoil hats. We're going to wipe them off and blow the dust off them. And we're going to go down the rabbit hole. We haven't done a rabbit hole in ages, so let's blow them off, put them on, and go down that rabbit hole next week.
I ain't done a good one in a while.
On Instagram, of course, YouTube, and rumble.com. To anyone who's watching, please, if you do not mind, go over to our YouTube channel. Please like, please subscribe. It's free. We don't charge you for any content that we come out with. We ain't got no hidden Patreon accounts or anything, or any Feed Finder accounts. But you
ain't no gatekeeping here.
Free. We really appreciate it.
No feet pics, nothing.
Subscribe to us. Yeah, we'd really appreciate it. And thank you for everyone that's tuned in tonight there on Instagram, on Rumble. Thank you to everyone that stayed with us tonight here on YouTube. We really appreciate it. But from me, of course, stay smoky. Matthew.
Don't start none. There won't be none. Grumpy.
Hey, I love you. Abba Father loves you too. If he ain't driving the bus this year, you better let him. Road's already bumpy. Just gonna get worse. Catch me next time.
And of course,
thanks again, guys, so much.
Next week.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, sir.
If you want to stay after, by all means, stay after. But we will catch you all next week. Bye, everyone, and thank you for watching. Much love.
From the depths of the internet, my podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. With their witty banter and infectious glee, they've captured hearts, you see. They're more than just smokers, they're a family, united by cigars, a brotherhood free. Invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. They've got the knowledge, the passion, the flair, a podcast powerhouse beyond compare. So light up a stogie and join the affair. The Cigar Loons are always there. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail